What's up guys, how you doing? Welcome to another video. So today I am talking about the DJI Osmo Action. Now this camera has had loads and loads of improvements since its launch. When it first came out, there were lots of problems with it, right? People complained about the lag, the lack of microphone adapter, all kinds of other things which weren't quite right. But to be fair to DJI, they have made so many improvements with the firmware updates on this camera that it is like a whole new product. If you do like the GoPro equivalents, you're almost looking at the difference between like a GoPro 5 and a GoPro Hero 8, something like that. The amount of improvement that I would say has come with this camera since launch. Today, I thought we would look at some of the best improvements that there have been, and I'm going to share with you the 7 best improvements that I think have come with this camera, the DJI Osmo Action, since its launch. So the Osmo Action was originally launched in May 2019, which means it's over a year old already. That seems crazy how quickly the time flies. But since that point, there have been loads of firmware updates. I believe the latest firmware right now is like 0.9, something like that. The easiest way, if you guys either don't know which firmware you've got or you want to upgrade to the newest firmware, it's really easy to do. The easiest way is just to get your mobile phone and get the DJI Mimo app, connect that to your Osmo Action, and you can do it simple as that. You literally connect to your camera, you go into your app, and you'll see it will tell you that there's a firmware upgrade available, and you literally can do it through your phone. It's so easy to do. Sets up your camera, and it means that you will then have the latest, newest firmware set up on your Osmo Action camera, ready to go. So as I said, I'm going to share what I think are the 7 best improvements. If you guys are excited by that, make sure you do me a favour, go hit the like button on the video. It helps me out loads and loads on my channel, helps my video and helps my channel to be more successful. That's why I ask you to do that favour for me on each and every video. Loads more videos to come on my channel, Osmo Action related, sports photography related, photography, videography, bit of everything. And in fact, I've got a really cool video coming up to do with the Osmo Action in about a week or so's time. So if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you think about it. Loads of other videos still to come. If you want to follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me in all 3 places. I'm just going to put them on the screen right here so it's a bit easier for you. You can also find me on Twitter. That's right here if you want to find me on Twitter. Go check that one out as well. Comment on something, let me know you came from YouTube. It's really cool. There's much more opportunity for me to get the interaction with you guys. Share my photos over there, behind the scenes stuff on Instagram stories, all that kind of stuff. So look, no more messing around. Let's get into these 7 improvements. And I think we should start with the biggest one. I think we should start with the thing that has probably been the most talked about problem with the Osmo Action, and the thing which admittedly I found to be quite a problem myself when it first launched. But I think it has improved 10 times over. And that is the issues with the lag that we were getting with the camera when it first came out, especially when you were using the Rocksteady modes. Now, when this camera first launched, there was a real problem with the lag that was coming from it. It was almost like a few second delay. You literally could be filming yourself, you'd be looking away, you'd look back towards the camera, and then a second or two later on that front screen, you would see yourself turn back and look towards the camera, and it was really off-putting and really threw you off when you were filming any kind of video. That has improved loads and loads with the firmware updates. And the easiest way to do it is for me to show you. You guys will probably remember seeing this in some of my old videos. If not, you can go back and watch those. But the most simple way for me to show you is literally just for us to film a clip, and I'll show you guys the back of the camera. So if I do that, there you go, so you guys can see the back of the camera right now. So right now we're filming this in 1080p, 24 frames per second, and the Rocksteady is turned on. And you can see that lag is so improved. It's pretty much almost gone. I mean, look, maybe you could be picky and say there's a little bit of a second there, but overall, that is pretty improved. Right, let's try it at 4K. Okay, here we go. We're now filming at 4K. So this is 4K, 24 frames per second. Rocksteady is still turned on. And again, you can see that maybe, I don't know, is it worse? No, I think it's about the same. Still pretty good. Pretty good. And for me, that is such a big improvement. I mean, that literally has turned this camera from almost being unusable, really, to being so good. And especially when that front screen then comes into play, you basically are turning that front screen into an absolute game changer. It would have been a game changer straight away when the camera launched, but the reason it didn't make that much of a difference is because the lag was so bad. And now that's fixed, having that front screen is a game changer. Okay, the second thing which I think is a huge improvement since this camera launched is the fact that you can now switch from the back screen to the front screen without having to stop recording. It used to be so annoying. You would record with the back screen and it's really easy to switch to the front screen. You would just hold down this side button for a second or so and it would switch to the front screen. But the trouble is it would stop recording and then start recording a new video. So you had a gap in between and that was so frustrating. Whereas now, really simple. You guys can see I'm currently recording on the back screen of the camera. I can press the side button. We switch to the front screen recording and the video is still recording. It hasn't stopped at all. And that's a huge change. Really great for me. Really pleased to see that change. Big improvement for number 2. Right, the third biggest thing for me. And it's another one that was talked about so much when this camera came out. People were on the forums and on social media saying, DJI, where is the external microphone adapter for this camera? Well, we now have one. Now, this is quite a, I don't know if controversial topic is quite the right word, because there are a lot of people who say this is no good, this adapter. Lots of people, including myself, who think it's absolutely fine and it works really well. So, the official adapter is made by a company called Sinova, but it's the official one that is on the DJI website. It's the official adapter, which they say is the adapter that goes with this camera. Now, it really simply clips in the side of your camera. Now, the problems that people say they have with this adapter are, number one, that it apparently falls out really easily. Well, I absolutely believe them saying that, but I don't have that problem. I mean, look, it's plugged in the side of my camera. I can shake it. I can move it around. It's not coming out of there at all. It's really solid. And in fact, to get it out, I have to like pull it so it kind of clips out. It's not going to fall out of there for no reason at all. The other thing that people would say was the problem with this was that it didn't work. Like, they would plug in their microphone and the audio would be no change at all. Well, I've done a whole video on that where I believe there is absolutely improvement using the adapter, and in fact I'll link that video right here, so if you want to you can go watch that one afterwards, or pause this one, go watch that and come back to this one. But I think it's absolutely working. The other thing for me that confirms it works is when I plug the microphone into the adapter, the logo on the screen comes up to show that there is a microphone attached. So I think it's absolutely working. I think it improves my audio loads, and I use that when I'm out and about vlogging, as per the thumbnail of this video, all the time I use it, and I think it works absolutely fine. That is a huge change for me since this camera was launched. The other great thing about it is it works with a cage. You can see, can you guys see that? Yeah, you should be able to. There's a little bit of a gap like between the adapter and the actual camera itself, which means you can fit it in your cage, and then the cage comes with the right hole for it so that then fits through the side, so it works with your cage. Really great. Okay, what is the fourth thing that we're going to be talking about? The fourth one is, I guess, a bit of a funny one, and really it's got nothing to do with DJI because most of it is to do with other companies. But the fact that this camera is now a year old means that all of the other companies have kind of caught up, and there are so many more accessories that are now available to use with your Osmo Action. It makes the camera so much more versatile and so much more easy to use. For example, things like the ND filters. You can get a whole range of ND filters now which work really well with the camera. There's different cages. You can get this kind of upgraded metal cage, which I use now, which allows you to have your hot shoe from your microphone on the top there. It enables you to have your adapters in the side. Works really well. I can attach it on the quarter thread to, you know, whatever, tripods, my Gorilla Pod, everything like that. It makes the camera so much more versatile to use with the amount of accessories that are now available, which weren't available when it first launched. I find that really useful. I use all these things all the time, and it makes it so much more user-friendly for me to use the Osmo Action every day. Now, the next one for me, I guess, is a favourite of mine because of how I've found myself using it. I didn't necessarily think it was going to be a big change when it first came out, but I've found it so useful and I've been using them all the time. And that is the improvements to some of the photo modes. You now have the ability to delay the photo by 2 seconds, 5 seconds, and a whole range of options which weren't there when it first came out. They were greatly reduced. And for me, probably the 2 seconds and the 3 and the 5 seconds are the main ones which I've found useful useful which have been added in. The reason they're so great, and I find myself using them all the time, is I have this out and about with me a lot when I'm on like a family holiday. When I don't want to take my big camera, we're just out walking around, we're at the beach, something like that, we're sat by the pool. I have this with me because we're filming little fun family videos, and it's good for little like snaps photos, just like your point and shoot camera. And where I find that great is if you've got a selfie stick like myself, you can get in there with the family, set this to the 2-second delay, press the button, hey family, boom, take your photo, and you crack on. It's just such a perfect time. It means you don't have the 10-second delay of, right, everyone get ready, press the button, right guys, look at the camera, keep looking at the camera, yeah, let's keep looking at the camera, and then it takes the photo. By the time it takes the photo, everyone's there with their, like, you know, their worn out smiles, and it's just too long. Or the 1-second option where you're like, right, quick, take the oh, and it's too late and it's gone. It just makes such a difference to have that variety of photo options, and I use them all the time, which is why I wanted to include them in this video. Okay, another really cool update with this is that they have added a hyperlapse mode to the Osmo Action. Works really, really well. You can do it at different time intervals. You can speed it up like 10 times, 15 times, I think 30 times as well. So it works really, really well for you guys who are wanting to really film some good hyperlapses. Of course, you can use it for all kinds of stuff. You could use it for a sunrise, moonrise, you know, driving along the road, traffic, all kinds of stuff you can use it for. Or you can simply use it to make a cool video of me sat right here talking to you guys and show you a speeded up version. But whatever you want to use it for, it's really, really good. It works really, really well, and I can see myself using that a lot, like in my vlogs or maybe my intros when I want to kind of, you know, show something moving to demonstrate a bit of a story of where I am. I can see that working really, really well for me. Really great addition, the hyperlapse mode. Now, last but certainly not least for me, one of the great improvements with this is the fact they have just recently, in one of the most recent firmware updates, added an ability to use it for live streaming. Now that's really, really cool. You can do it through the app, through the Mimo app on your phone, and you can connect the camera to your phone, and you can go through and you can choose where you want to live stream to. Do I want to live stream to Facebook, to YouTube, whatever the different apps are you've got on your phone, and you can link it through and use it as a live stream camera. Now that might sound like a small thing, but actually it's so useful. You guys who've done live streaming before, you know it can be a bit of a pain to set it up, like if you want a decent quality picture, to set it up on your computer with your DSLR and whatever else, it takes a little bit of work. So I quite find myself often, if I'm doing live streams, like for my YouTube channel or maybe for my Facebook group that we've got, I would do it via my phone. What this enables you to do is to still do it via your phone, but to connect a much better quality video camera and live stream via the Osmo Action. I think that's really, really great. Something which I can see myself using quite a lot going forwards in the future, and a really nice addition that they have added to this camera. And there we go, guys. Those are the things I think are the 7 best improvements since this camera launch. Now, of course, I've only touched on some of them. There's loads of other improvements in there as well. People might have different opinions on which they think are the best ones. You might think some of my favourites are rubbish, and you might have other favourites that I have thought to be less important. But it doesn't really matter. The point is there have been loads of improvements in this camera since it launched. I think it's like a whole new camera. Really, really pleased with it. Looking forward to getting out there and using it some more and testing it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button for me. It helps me out loads. Make sure you think about subscribing if you haven't already, so you can catch up with all future videos. Comment below and let me know what you think of the Osmo Action. Let me know which changes you think are the best ones. I look forward to seeing all of you guys, and I will see you on the next video.